Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Davis. I'm Vice Chancellor for University Relations at UC Santa Cruz. On behalf of all my colleagues here at the Santa Clara campus and, of course, our colleagues over in Santa Cruz, welcome to the 6th Annual U.S.-India Conference co-hosted by UC Santa Cruz and the All India Management Association, AIMA. We are pleased to welcome you to this great UC Santa Cruz facility here in the heart of Silicon Valley. We're honored and humbled to partner with AIMA this year and to build on the partnership that AIMA has had with the Law School at Berkeley over the years. Today, we have a series of panels that will hopefully engage all of us in a dialogue about the promising opportunities presented as relationships between the US and India governments become closer, and as a result, relationships with industries and institutions of higher education as well, exploring both the opportunities and the challenges. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our speakers on the dais. Their full bios are on the online program available through the QR code, but I'll keep these introductions brief. I'll read the summaries of all of them and then ask each of them to come up one at a time. Dr. Cynthia Larive became UC Santa Cruz's 11th Chancellor in July 2019. As UC Santa Cruz's Chief Executive Officer, she leads a campus of nearly 20,000 students within 5 academic divisions and 10 undergraduate residential colleges. An accomplished bioanalytical chemist, Chancellor Larive is focused on research, innovation, and developing the next generation of entrepreneurs, launching the campus's Innovation and Business Engagement Hub to serve as a connection point for the campus's innovation ecosystem and provide a point of entry and engagement for industry partners and supporters. She previously served as Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor at UC Riverside. Nikhil, current President of AIMA and Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Triveni Turbines and a Director with Triveni Engineering. The companies occupy leadership positions in their respective businesses of sugar manufacturing, distillation of alcohol, renewable energy generation, industrial turbines and gears, and water and waste management treatment solutions, spanning 16 manufacturing locations in India. Nikhil is an active trustee of the Tarath Ram Sa Charitable Hospital and the Emmanuel College India Trust, as well as the Ananta Aspen Center, of which he is a fellow. Nikhil is also a member of the Trilateral Commission and a member of various government of India-led bilateral CEO forums. Sunil Kant Munjal, chairman of Hero Enterprise, is a second-generation member of the family that founded Hero Group, India's premier automotive manufacturing group that has evolved from being the world's largest bicycle maker to the largest two-wheeler maker. He is now the chairman of Hero Enterprise with interest in insurance distribution, steelmaking, real estate, corporate training, and active investment office. He sits on the boards of the Indian Institute of Management and Ahmedabad, Indian School of Business, the Shriram College of Commerce, and the University of Tokyo. He is also on the board of trustees for the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. He co-founded BML Munjal University. The Honorable Rakesh Adlakha is the Indian Foreign Service Officer and presently Deputy Consul General at the Consulate General of India in San Francisco. Before coming to San Francisco in January, he served in the UN Political Department of the Ministry of External Affairs. He is a Foreign Service Officer with vast experience, having previously served in Oman, France, Malaysia, and Sri Lanka, among others. And our last speaker is Rekha Sethi, the Director General of AIMA. Since she took charge in 2008, she established AIMA as a preferred platform for discussions and debate on management. AIMA now attracts India's top industry leaders and policymakers on its platform. Rekha is on the boards of some leading Indian companies as an independent director, including CESC, one of India's foremost power generation and distribution companies. I'm pleased to start this session and with our host, our UC Santa Cruz Chancellor, Cynthia Larive. Chancellor Larive.
Well, thank you, Mark. Good afternoon and welcome everyone to the 6th U.S.-India Conference. It's hosted by the All India Management Association, AIMA, and UC Santa Cruz. And I'd like to just begin by recognizing all the esteemed members of the delegation who have joined us today. We're so glad that you are here and so appreciative of how the relationship between AIMA and our campus has flourished since the association's visit to our campus last fall, and my visit to India with other campus leaders this last spring. I see today as an opportunity to further strengthen our partnerships, to widen our collaborations, and to dive deep on some areas of shared interest. I'm also extremely grateful for the participation of some members of the Santa Cruz campus community today, and deeply proud of the work undertaken by our students, staff, and faculty. UC Santa Cruz is a research powerhouse, a member of the prestigious Association of American Universities, as well as the Association of Pacific Rim Universities. We strive to do high impact research focused on developing solutions to the world's most pressing issues. Our Center for Coastal Climate Resilience is leveraging our internationally recognized work in marine science and coastal sustainability to develop innovative nature-based strategies to strengthen coastal resilience in the face of a rapidly changing climate. Our Baskin School of Engineering is an engineering school for the 21st century, sitting in the middle of the bustling technology hubs of Santa Cruz and right here in Silicon Valley. Baskin Engineering represents a rare combination, world-class, high-impact research by a university known for social responsibility and diversity, with innovations that include new biosensing platforms, smart power grids, and crucial generative and open-source AI tools. Interdisciplinary research is part of our DNA at UC Santa Cruz. Our faculty and students are driving major advances in data science, cyber-physical systems, and genomic sequencing. In 2000, UC Santa Cruz scientists were the first to sequence the human genome and posting it online for the greatest minds to utilize. We continue to be a global leader in genomics. Last year, our researchers released the first truly complete sequence of a human genome, covering each chromosome from end to end with no gaps and unprecedented accuracy. This feat is already opening up new applications in the realm of personalized medicine. We also played a leading role in completely sequencing the Y chromosome and released the first draft of a human pangenome reference. That original human genome I spoke about that was done in 2000 was the genome of a single person, a white man from Buffalo, New York. We know that the genetic diversity of our planet is much greater, and so the human pangenome reference combines the genomic information from 47 individuals from different ancestral backgrounds and boosts our collective understanding of human biology and genomic diversity. It's really an important contribution to the world, especially by a university that doesn't even have a medical school. Our Center for South Asian Studies focuses on economic and social justice for the region and is positioned for exponential growth. We strive to understand the world we all live in and the unique conditions in which your companies operate, the challenges and the opportunities for India, and the ways in which we can all work together. At our conference today, we have a great lineup of panels, and I'm excited to hear the delegation members and UC Santa Cruz professors weigh in on these timely topics. We'll discuss the advancement of new world economic order, one in which common goals are pursued and cultural differences are respected, how to best navigate global economic uncertainty, and unearth opportunities, developing and deploying leading-edge technologies, and revitalizing the innovation ecosystem. We come together at an especially exciting time in the U.S.-India relations, as President Biden and Prime Minister Modi have reaffirmed a vision of the United States and India as close partners, both as democracies, and looking deep into the 21st century with hope, ambition, and confidence. Together, we can all help to build this stronger U.S.-India partnership.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be with you, and also it's a pleasure to co-host this 6th India-US conference. This conference is really a reflection of the diaspora and the importance that it plays in terms of bridging the connect between our countries. but equally as much as our partner here with AIMA, which is UC Santa Cruz, where we share such common and shared values. The values of social justice and sustainability epitomize the values that the countries share in terms of shared interests and values as well. Firstly, Mr. Adlakha, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and many thanks for agreeing to address the US-India conference today. AIMA is grateful to the Council's support and guidance in holding this conference, and we look forward to your continued encouragement of AIMA's further engagements in California. Chancellor Larive, you've been an amazing partner in staging this dialogue between India and Indians and American thought leaders. AIMA is privileged to have UC Santa Cruz as its partner, and I look forward to working with you to explore ways to deepen this cooperation. You lead a unique institution which not only excels in academics, but also in social transformation. Thank you for joining us at this conference, and a very warm welcome to you. Mark, thank you very much for being here today and for organizing this. Mr. Munjal, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and many thanks for agreeing to address this conference. You're an exceptional entrepreneur, inspirational venture capitalist, and educator. AIMA benefits from your guidance, and I too, as personally as well. I also wish to thank Mr. P.K. Agarwal and Rekha, who've both been involved in putting together this conference today. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are not familiar with AIMA's activities, AIMA is the apex body for Indian management. It was founded in 1957, and it has democratized the management, education, leadership excellence in India. Its membership base covers over 38,000 individuals with 6,000 corporate and institutional members. AIMA's activities reach over 20 million people in India annually. AIMA's association with the United States goes back many decades. In the 1960s, AIMA collaborated with MIT in developing an advanced management program and also received a grant from the Ford Foundation. In 1971, AIMA collaborated with USAID in conducting a study in management techniques applied by Indian enterprises. But we really started work with the US in a much more sustained manner only 9 years ago, when we did our first global advanced management program in Washington, DC, and then in Silicon Valley, bringing a group of 15 senior executives to the US to expose them to the latest thoughts in innovation. We have by now conducted 11 such programs, and we have one scheduled for next week as well. AIMA places a special focus on engaging with American thought leaders because it sees the India-US relationship as key to realizing their individual economic and strategic goals and to building of the next world order. AIMA, as the apex management body in India, enjoys a special relationship with not only the government, but with corporates and with other institutions, including academia. As AIMA president, I invite all of you here today to engage with AIMA to get a clearer view of India's emerging scenario. The US-India relationship is going from strength to strength, and the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, his state visit to the United States this June was a watershed moment in the relationship between the two countries. The US and India now see each other as strategic partners across economy, security, science and technology, and many other disciplines. There is a greater push by the two governments for lowering barriers of flows in technology, talent, trade, as well as capital, and defense is a new subject which is on everyone's radar these days. In recent years, the United States has been India's largest trading partner, about the same as India's trade with the entire European Union, as well as the entire ASEAN region. Education and research cooperation is a critical peg of the growing India-US cooperation. More than 200,000 Indian students are enrolled for higher education in American universities, and they have a great resource for both the Indian and US economies. This talent pipeline could be expanded through greater collaboration in technical and professional education. The recently signed initiatives for critical emerging technologies holds great promise for corporate and academic collaboration in developing and deploying new technologies such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing. There is a lot to be gained by working together and helping each other become stronger. Today, we have an opportunity to share views and build on strong ideas so that we can strengthen the bonds between the countries, the diaspora, and everyone else in the room here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mark, Cindy, Nikhil, Rakesh, Rekha, ladies and gentlemen. First, a big thank you, Cindy, for this wonderful partnership and your hospitality, yours and your entire team at UCSC. We truly appreciate this. I think this is a nice beginning to doing this second year round, but clearly we see potential in growing this partnership. So Nikhil has stolen all the lines of what I was going to say, so I'll try and wing it now on why does it actually matter for us as India and US to look at working closer than we have been, to look at a change to an active exchange of people, of ideas, of innovation. First, I don't need to tell all of you here the similarities that exist between the two. The largest and the oldest democracy, rule of law, belief of a certain kind of what the world order should be. But I think it's also important at the same time for us to focus a little bit on the differences, because there are differences. On the one hand, while these are both large and growing economies, in India's case, our size of the economy is large, and we are expected to become the third largest pretty soon, and some say probably even the second largest by 2050. But per capita income is still very low. There are a large number of Indians who live just on the margin. So for India, the challenges in that sense are somewhat different. And therefore, our attention, it is necessary that our focus and attention also goes to things like the rural areas, where a lot of the poverty comes from. So as India evolves and grows, we're doing a fantastic job right now of building both physical infrastructure and digital infrastructure. For a long time, people used to complain about India. There's a severe lack of physical infrastructure, there's too much red tape, and there's too much corruption. So interestingly, each of these has found a solution in itself. As we go out and build physical infrastructure, India is doing all of this and in a process and system which has got digitized. We have the most evolved public digital infrastructure in the planet at this moment. We are the only country in the world where you can transfer money instantly at zero cost. I don't know if there's another one in the planet, Vikram, you may, I don't think there's one. We built something called the India Stack. May I ask by a show of hands, how many of you in this room have heard of the India Stack? Okay, that's about 10 people in the room. So you should try and figure out, learn a little bit about this. It's an amazing initiative by Indians living here in the Valley or in California and Indians living in India. A completely voluntary effort to build a stack on which you can ride education services, payment services, healthcare services on an open platform with complete security. And India is now pushing more and more in the direction to make public services available to all citizens, which are directed through this technological, almost a marvel in a sense. The technologies of this are not new, but the ability to use this is actually quite new. We're now building one for healthcare, because that's another thing on which we were lacking. So public infrastructure for education and healthcare was two extremes. On the top end, we're as good as it gets. Our doctors, our hospitals in the top end are absolutely fantastic, but they're very expensive. And a large section of the population does not yet have insurance. So it's all self-pay, and that makes it prohibitive for the large section of the population. So our need to find solutions is a little bit different. But if we put the minds together, I think we are uniquely positioned to find solutions which can benefit both ends. US is a technological powerhouse. India has an amazing, innovative mindset. A lot of it, by the way, here is run by Indians. I believe 5 of the top 7 global tech companies are actually have CEOs that are Indian, and of course, many more. If I look around this room itself, there's some highly successful Indians who are based here. And I think the ability of Indians and Americans to work together is only getting enhanced because right at the top of the leadership in both countries, there is a stated position to build on this relationship. So not only do we need to build on defense and things as Nikhil was talking about, of course we need to build on the economy. Although we do hear now and then some noise that there is a trade deficit with India, although that's marginal. I don't know if it's 30 million or some such number, which should not really matter on economies of this size. So the opportunity is immense for us to exchange students, scientists, technologists, innovators, sports, theater, music, in arts and culture. These are non-threatening exchanges because it's not a win-lose relationship. This truly creates a win-win relationship. And for us to do this through institutions, the mechanism that's available is institutions like yours. So that's also why I was saying we truly appreciate this partnership, because I think through this pipe, we can send a lot more than we are doing today. And for both of us, this is a challenge for both sides to see how we can grow not in percentage terms every year, but order of magnitude in the coming few years. I do believe we are at the cusp of a big change, but we need to make it happen. It's not going to happen by itself. From our side, as Indian industry, as Indian business leaders, as All India Management Association, we are more than happy to do our bit, and we would appreciate any form of partnership or hands reaching out to do more than we are doing right now. And any exchanges of this nature offer us a platform to bring people and bring ideas together. So thank you very much for hosting us today, and thank you very much for doing this. Good luck.
Madam Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, namaste. I feel really privileged and honored to be here with you all today, and also to share stage with such eminent personalities who have spoken before me at this US-India conference. Let me begin by thanking the All India Management Association and University of California, Santa Cruz for organizing this conference. I also welcome all the members of AIMA who have come from India and wish them a productive visit to Silicon Valley. Friends, India and the United States enjoy a comprehensive global strategic partnership covering almost all areas of human endeavor, driven by shared democratic values, convergence of interests on a range of issues, and vibrant people-to-people contacts. This partnership is now anchored in a new level of trust and mutual understanding after the visits of PM Modi to USA in June this year and the visit of President Biden to India last month for the G20. There is a regular exchange of high-level visits from both countries. There are also a number of mechanisms to constantly review the bilateral relationship. India-US 2+2 annual ministerial dialogue led by External Affairs Minister and Defense Minister from India and their respective counterparts reviews bilateral ties in defense, strategic, and security domains, as well as important regional and global issues. Similarly, cooperation in counterterrorism is one of the pillars of the bilateral relationship, featuring information exchange, capacity building, operational cooperation, and regular dialogue through the India-US Joint Working Group on Counterterrorism. There are also mechanisms for security cooperation, counter narcotics cooperation, and cybersecurity cooperation. India and US also have close cooperation in multilateral fora, apart from working closely in Quad context. Let me now touch upon the India-US economic relations. The India-US Trade and Investment Partnership is an engine for global growth, with bilateral trade exceeding $191 billion in 2022. US is among the largest investors in India also. The economic partnership between the two countries covers virtually all spheres of activity. To name a few, there is cooperation in space, energy, education, health, technology, etc., etc. In fact, cooperation in technology is one of the most important sectors of cooperation between the two countries. And what could be more important place for technological innovation than the Silicon Valley where we are sitting right now? In fact, Prime Minister Modi and President Biden have affirmed that technology will play a defining role in deepening India-USA partnership. The leaders have also held the inauguration of the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology ISET, launched in January 2023 as a major milestone in India-US relations. Another important aspect of our relationship is the people-to-people contacts. About 4.5 million Indian Americans, Indian origin people reside in the US. There are many Indian American community organizations and professional organizations of Indian Americans. Indian Americans are one of the most successful communities and excel in diverse fields, including politics. The Indian diaspora has been a catalyst in cementing closer ties between India and the US. There are also a number of persons of Indian origin in the US Congress, yet the ambitions are to reach ever greater heights in the bilateral relationship, and both sides have committed themselves to this endeavor now and into the future. Visits by Indian delegations to US, such as the one of AIMA, go a long way in exploring opportunities for cooperation between the two countries. The consulate is always willing to support such efforts and is available for any assistance required. With these words, I wish you all a productive and enriching participation in today's conference. I once again thank AIMA and UC Santa Cruz for organizing this wonderful conference and inviting us here. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Members of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, the India-US relationship is perhaps the most pivotal international relationship in the emerging world order. The individual strengths of the two countries are complementary, and they need each other more than ever before as uncertainty and anxiety about global economy, security, and climate grow. One phase of shared global peace and prosperity is over, and things seem destined to get worse before they get better. Nationalistic, ideological, and technological competition is polarizing the world and creating the need for greater bilateral cooperation among the like-minded countries. There is a growing convergence between India and America's interests, and it is only logical that they open up more to each other and contribute to each other's strengths. It is vital that India and US collaborate in engineering a new order based on improved standards and mechanisms of global governance. India and US need to work together on shaping new globalization that is popular and sustainable. I want to thank you all in the audience for joining us today in this celebration of Indo-US relations by attending the US-India conference this afternoon. I'm delighted that we have a Deputy Consul General with us, Mr. Rakesh Adlakha. Thank you so much for joining us. The Consulate General of India has a vital role in promoting contact and cooperation between Indian and American business and academia, and AIMA is grateful for your guidance and assistance in taking this India-US dialogue forward. Thank you so much once again for joining us. This is AIMA's 6th US-India conference and the first with UC Santa Cruz. It has been a wonderful experience working with an amazing set of people led by the very dynamic and visionary Chancellor, Ms. Cynthia Larive. Cindy, it has been an absolute pleasure to collaborate with UCSC in this conference, and AIMA would love to deepen this relationship further and further work together in the area of management education. I also must thank two very special people behind all the hard work that has gone into making this event. Mark and PK, thank you so much. You have made this conference what it is today. While I'm going to miss our weekly calls, but I hope we'll have more occasions to get together and speak on Zoom going forward. I also want to thank your wonderful team, James, Kristen, Kerry, Mansi, Scott, Taylor, for their great support. They were there throughout with us. Thank you all very much. Mr. Munjal, you have been one of the driving forces behind not just this conference, but the entire program for the CEO's delegation. Thank you for your inputs and thoughts in shaping the agenda and helping us reach out to your very vast network here to put this program together for the CEOs. Nikhil, thank you for your support and outstanding stewardship. It's a great start to your presidential year, and we are looking forward to deepening AIMA's engagement with UCSC under your leadership. I would also like to thank all our wonderful speakers and moderators, including members of the AIMA CEOs delegation and UC Santa Cruz, who have so kindly agreed to address the conference. Each is outstanding in their own way, and I'm sure you will enjoy the sessions in the coming few hours. I also want to thank Sharad Singh and Meenakshi Singh and Navneet Chugh, who have been supporting AIMA and the US-India conference through its inception. We couldn't have done this without you. Once again, thank you all for being a wonderful audience. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the sessions and the networking reception which follows. Thank you, everybody.